Hey Simmers! Welcome back to the Color Legacy Build series. Today we are building in Zenview Apartment 702 in Samaishuno. This is a new home for our Orange Generation heir. So this is Ginger and his wife Maris and their 4 kids, Huguette, Henry, Heath, and Hazel, and a dog named Rocky. So yeah, it's a big family. I'll tell you more about them later, but for now, let's talk about the layout. So this is a 2-story apartment. On the first floor, we've got the living room, dining area, and kitchen, all flowing together in one open space. There's also a bathroom down here. Then upstairs, we'll have the main bedroom for Ginger and Maris, 2 kids' bedrooms, and a second bathroom. It's a pretty tight fit, but I think we can make it cozy, colorful, and full of personality. Alright, let's get building. So this is the kitchen area. I went with gray concrete floors and walls to keep things simple and modern, and added a pop of color with this orange brick wall, because obviously this house is for Orange Generation. For the kitchen counters, I chose this industrial style set, kind of raw, kind of sleek. And surprisingly, the Life and Death fridge actually fits perfectly here. I didn't expect that, but the vibe is spot on. The space is pretty tight, so instead of upper cabinets, I went these black open shelves. Simple, clean, and a little bit edgy. And right next to the counters, I added island counters with black bar stools. And I put a hanging plant and a black simple recycling bin. And I added clutter to the counters and shelves off camera. So here's before and after screenshots. And to divide the kitchen from the dining space, I added a 1-tile wall with a black grid-style window. I love this detail. It matches the glass door we have at the entrance and pulls the whole space together. And I spent way too long choosing the pendant lights for this spot, but in the end I kept it simple with black minimal ones. Now over to the dining area, and first things first, I added some curtains to warm things up a bit. These are from the Desert Luxe pack, and depending on the lighting, they've got this soft orangish tone that totally fits our Orange Generation theme. For the main setup, I went with a black dining table and 6 simple, minimal black chairs. It's very clean, very functional, and it ties in nicely with the kitchen. Above the table, I added a black pendant light to match. It's understated, but it keeps the space feeling modern and open. And there's a bowl of fresh fruit right in the center. You know, some bright oranges in there. I think it's a cute little touch. Next up is the living room. I started by changing one of the walls to this orange brick texture, which adds some warmth and connects nicely with the kitchen. It also gives the space a bit of that cozy urban loft vibe. On that wall, I placed a TV unit, and not just any TV, it's huge. Maybe a little too much for the room, but you know, Ginger is a professional comedian. Watching stand-up is basically work for him, right? Over by the windows, I added a bright orange sofa set. Or at least, let's pretend it's orange. Depending on the lighting, it's totally believable. Either way, it ties in with theme and looks really cute and cozy. Now, while I struggle with the cushions, let me explain a bit more about this family. Ginger is born and raised in Samaishuno. He met Maris in the city one day and totally fell for her. Eventually, they got married, adopted a cute puppy, had two kids, Huguette and Henry, and then one more pregnancy gave them twins, Heath and Hazel. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, but I've actually been playing this challenge for years, and I'm almost ready to start the pink generation now. Back when I originally played through the orange generation, they lived somewhere different in Samaishuno. This apartment build is brand new, part of my project to go back and build something special for each generation. It's been so fun to reimagine their homes and tell their stories through these spaces. Yeah, right next to the sofa, I placed two guitars because this family is seriously into music. Ginger's maxed out his guitar and singing skills. And at least a couple of the kids, Huguette and Heath, I believe, are following in his footsteps. And between the living and dining areas, I added an open black bookshelf. I think it can be a nice divider. And I'm putting Rocky's food bowl. He's playful, nosy, and always hungry. Let's move on to the entryway and upstairs hallway, where things start off with the more orange brick. Just a little touch here, but enough to tie it all together and carry that warm industrial vibe through the space. Right by the front door, I added a sleek industrial style accent table. It's one of the classic base game item, but it's perfect for this space. And then under the stairs, I made use of that awkward space by adding some storage shelves. And next to that, I placed a full-length mirror and plenty of shoes. 6 person plus one dog are living here. It's a very busy family. We've got 3 bedrooms upstairs, one for the parents and 2 kids' rooms, plus a shared bathroom. It's a bit of a squeeze for a big family, but we made it work. Each room has its own personality, and I'll talk more about the kids and their stories when we get into decorating those spaces. And that little base game shelf by the entrance door, I love it. It's such a cute new addition, and it fits perfectly here. And the stairs themselves are from the Businesses and Hobbies pack. That floating, minimal design felt like a fun contrast to all the brick and concrete. I paired them with the matching railing just to keep things clean and modern. Now upstairs, the hallway is pretty compact, so I kept things simple. Just a small shelf and a couple of pieces of wall art. The art I'm picking for the hallway has hints of orange color and a music theme. Alright, let's move into the bathrooms, starting with the one of the first floor. I used this super cute orange brick floor that I just fell in love with. It's cheerful, fun, and perfect for the orange generation. For the walls, I kept things simple with white wallpaper with a bit of texture, just to balance out all the color. I also swapped out the window for something from the base game. At the back of the room, I squeezed in a shower tub combo because, well, Rocky needs somewhere to get clean too. It's a narrow bathroom, but I managed to fit in both a sink and a toilet. And to soften it all up, I added some cute wall decor with pink and orange in it, and a little candle near the sink, just to give it a bit of warmth and personality. Well, two bathrooms might not sound like much for a family this size, but rent is expensive in the city. So, two bathrooms for 6 Sims plus one dog, I think it's realistic. And the second bathroom upstairs follows the same general vibe. Same flooring, same wall texture, and the same key furniture pieces like the bathtub and sink. But since there was a little more room to play with up here, I also added a washer and dryer next to the sink. Well, let's be real. With 6 people living in this apartment, laundry happens fast and often. It's not glamorous, but it's real life. Now for the final touch, I added some clutters like a small wall shelf, towel, and hair dryer. This bathroom is near the bedrooms, so they use it more often, I guess. Yeah, I think that's it. It's simple, but I like how it turned out. Now we are heading into the first kids' room, and this one's for the youngest two, the twins. I started by giving the walls a soft but sunny yellow wallpaper, and it just kind of set the tone for everything else. I imagine the twins are still in elementary school at this stage, maybe around 8 or 9 years old. So here's a photo of twins at the time. Now let me tell you more about these two. First, we have Hazel, the youngest of all 4 siblings, and the next heir in our Color Legacy Challenge, the yellow Jen. She was actually a bit of a surprise. The challenge rule says 3 kids for this generation, but on their third try, the parents ended up with twins. So here she is. Hazel is bright and cheerful on the outside, but a little more sensitive and anxious on the inside. She's a perfectionist, deeply creative, and sometimes gets overwhelmed. But she finds calm in music, especially the piano, and baking. Even though she's the youngest, she feels a strong sense of responsibility. She'll become a charity organizer in the future. And then there's her twin sister, Heath. Heath is kind and warm and endlessly curious. She's got this sweet, outdoorsy vibe, loves nature, loves music, and has a strong sense of justice. I imagined her as the kind of kid who would start a mini recycling campaign at school. I don't really remember her future career, but the two remained incredibly close throughout their lives. And now I added a cozy bunk bed for them to share. The one with yellow cover is for Hazel, and blue one is for Heath. And I put a little keyboard piano, of course, so they can mess around with music, and a shelf to stash their favorite things. It's a small room, but it's filled with light and energy. I think it's a cute kids' room. And now we are moving into the second kids' room, which is for the older two siblings, Huguette and Henry. I started this one by giving it a fun, playful pink wallpaper. It's sweet, not overly sweet, and gives energetic teen vibe. Yeah, this room is meant to reflect them in their teen years. So here I'm showing a photo of them when they were in high school. First up, let's talk about Huguette, the eldest of the four. She's a vegetarian, super into music, and she's got lactose intolerance. So I always had to pay attention to what she ate. I imagined her as thoughtful and expressive, the kind of teen who journals a lot and always has her earbuds in. She's got a great sense of responsibility and a bit of a big sister instinct. And then there's Henry, her younger brother by just a year or so. He's a total bookworm, full of confidence and charm, and he adores dogs. He's the kind of kid who'd write an A-plus essay, and he's also surprisingly athletic. He often went jogging with Rocky. So Huguette and Henry make a really great team together. Both smart, motivated, and a little competitive in the best way. For their room, I added a bunk bed since they had to share space. It's a small apartment. And they've got a double desk to do homework side by side, a shared bookshelf, and a cute pop-style pink mirror. And since they are both into staying active, I added a yoga mat, not a functional one, just for decoration. And I put a soccer ball. Yeah, I really like their desk space. Pink laptop, pink notebooks, and pink headphones. It's all pink. And that wall decoration from New Base Game Update, it's super cute and it's very teen. I like it. And now we are heading into the primary bedroom, which belongs to the couple Ginger and Maris. This is the largest bedroom in the apartment, and I've kept the same color scheme as the rest of the main living space. Black accents and a signature orange brick wall to tie everything together. Now let me introduce the couple a bit more here. Ginger, our orange gen heir, is an outgoing, active, and goofy guy. He's a full-time comedian who loves to make people laugh, but he's also a dedicated dad and genuinely warm-hearted. And then there's his wife, Maris. She's a neat, cheerful, and genius sim working as a critic. She's smart, observant, and always has a witty take on everything. For their room, I picked a bed from Eco Lifestyle. It's casual, comfy looking, and fits the couple's easygoing vibe. Above the bed, I hung two large art pieces. I like to imagine they were painted by a friend, maybe another artist they've met through work, or one of Maris's fellow critics. In the corner, there's a closet unit for all their clothes. Sadly, there wasn't enough room in here for Rocky's bed, but I'm sure he's happy claiming a spot on the living room sofa downstairs. Next to the closet, I added a microphone stand so Ginger can practice his comedy routines. And to finish the space off, I mounted a wall shelf and decorate it off camera with items like some trophies from comedy career and a framed article, probably one of Maris's sharpest, proudest reviews. And finally, we've made it out to the balcony, the last stop on our tour. Since this family loves to entertain, I added a BBQ grill and a bar counter out here, so they can invite friends and hold a party. And I placed orange-toned bar stools and lounge chairs. This whole apartment was such a joy to build. It's colorful and cozy and feels full of life, just like the family who lives here. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little peek into the orange gen of my Color Legacy series. I've got a few screenshots of the finished build coming up next, so you can get a closer look at the final result. Until next time, take care and happy simming. Bye!